Good evening, everybody. Welcome to episode 10 of Fat Pod Lads. We hope you're all well. Doing better than we've been doing, but we will get into that. Obviously, don't forget to like and subscribe if you're in the chat already, which some of you probably are. Thank you for tuning in. Again, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. But let's introduce my usual co-host. So we'll start with Ruse. How are you, mate?
I'm all good, mate. I'm all good. Yourself?
All good, mate. All good. Another week on top for you.
Got five on it.
5 weeks in a row. Indy, how you doing, mate? Still languishing at the bottom of the table at the moment, but
yeah, but I'm trying to get up there, mate.
You're climbing.
Roaring my way back in.
You're climbing. And Charles Bronson, how are you, mate?
I'll be better if Chelsea weren't getting smashed.
Are they getting smashed? Are they?
It's 2-0
to
Newcastle.
Okay, well,
when you're sat like that and you're pushing your arms, that's not actually real muscle. That's you just pretending.
Pushing them biceps out, isn't he? But listen, again, thank you for tuning in. It's good to be here, week 10. Just a really quick note, Matt Pryor, you still haven't claimed your win from last week. I'm going to be nice. I'm going to give you another 24 hours. I will put a tweet out to that effect. If you do not claim, I'm either thinking about passing on to second place or rolling it over to next week. I will decide that tomorrow. But let's get straight into it. And as you can see by the headline and the title of the show tonight's show is all about Erling Haaland. What to begin with, anyway. I mean, Russ, this doesn't really include you because you haven't got him in your team and you're flying high. But we are 4 weeks in with Haaland, 3 blanks and 1 goal, missing a bucket load of chances against Southampton. Not really hitting the heights that we expect him to, but Indy, I'll come to you. What's going on?
Do you know what? He had 4 great opportunities. He should have done better than he did. But I just think City at the moment aren't firing on all cylinders, and it's harmed us really. I mean, to be fair, this week he did score, but after scoring, they piled on the pressure. They could have scored 5 or 6, to be honest. And he could have scored 4 of them himself, but it just didn't work out. In the end, it's unfortunate that he didn't get any bonus points for his goal as well, because that could have just swayed us and got us maybe 8 or 9. But, you know, in the grand scheme of things, a goal is still something. So it's not a dead bonus pick.
Yeah.
But you really want closer to 10 for your captain or higher, really. And it didn't happen. It's a disappointing week. But in general, apart from that, I probably did all right in my points, to be honest. I'd got 55, didn't spend any points. Generally, it came down to possibly having a Mbuemo in my team rather than somebody else, and I probably would have got about 70.
Thing is, though, Dave hexed Haaland the other week. Oh, he's definitely going to score goals for fun. He's going to score goals for fun. He's got 1 in 4.
Yeah, it's not going great. Maybe I am bugged in this year in terms of hexing players because I've captained every week for the last 4 weeks. City have just scored, by the way, it's 2-1. I've captained in every week for the last 4 weeks, and it's hurt me a lot. Him not getting anything. Luckily this week I wasn't the lowest scorer. That felt to Hindi this week, and I did manage to get over 30 points. But it is slightly concerning in the fact that City are not firing all cylinders, as you said, Hindi. Bugden, you can be a little bit in terms of, you know, you have considered removing him before and taking him out. Is your mind still with Haaland? Is he still one of these players you think I have to have in my team?
I don't think he's a have-to-have because, like I say, I think Russ has proved you get rid of him and you buy, because all the mid-price strikers are banging goals of fun. I mean, when was Welbeck considered a world-class striker?
Never.
Exactly, and he's 6 million now.
Yeah.
So you could get, you get him, Nicholas Jackson, and still have money to get Salah or Saka in your team.
Yeah.
So he's getting points from 3 different directions where we're waiting on one guy.
That's why I've not put him in.
You ain't got him, Bruce, but what do you think is kind of going wrong with Haaland in terms of not being able to score? Do you think it is a chance of City are just not creating the chances without Rodri and without De Bruyne, or is it?
Not having De Bruyne, not having Foden playing week in, week out. Rodri's a massive miss as well. They've got no creativity. Without that, he's just a normal striker, really, in my opinion.
So his next 3 games, They've got Bournemouth, Brighton, then they go to Tottenham. So
he'll get goals at Tottenham. He'll get goals against Tottenham.
Most players get goals at Tottenham, mate. Fucking hell. But no, it's one of them ones where I thought Southampton was the one. I toyed with a triple captain idea, which I'm really glad that I didn't in the end because he did fuck all. But let's pull up some teams and let's really have a look at it. I know Rossi isn't here tonight, but I do want to get his team up just for us to have a quick chat about when I can find them. All right, whose team's this first? All right, Ruse, you're up first, mate. Talk us through your team.
I can't really see my team now, mate.
So you got Raya in goal, 0 points.
Yeah.
Porro, Robinson, Kanate, and Mazraoui. Your defence massively let you down this week.
Yeah, to be fair, my defence have let me down the last 2-3 weeks, really. I went with Mbomo as my captain this week because his tack and returns at Brentford at home has been decent this year. And I thought the only other possible one I could pretty much probably go was Salah because he likes scoring past Arsenal. But I'm glad I went with Mbomo because he got a couple of goals. But after 60 minutes, I started worrying a little bit because I was only on something like 28 points or something stupid like that. And I was thinking, oh, shit, there's me giving it all Billy Big Bollocks the last 4 weeks and then I'm going to hit low score. So he pretty much saved me, really. Watkins does what Watkins does, gets the odd goal here and there. But, I'm quite happy, mate.
Yeah, see your team, obviously, with Mbumo, like you said, getting them couple of goals, that did kind of save your week. 30 points he ended on without them 2 goals, you're finishing on 36. It's a big difference. So, again, what I will say is 4 weeks in a row, your captain choice has outscored our whole team, pretty much. It's been
about it, mate.
It's been one of them. Well, outscored my team, should I say? Because I've
outscored everyone's team for 5 weeks.
Yeah, so you're on top at the moment. But going into the next few weeks, have you kind of got a plan about? Are you looking to move anyone out? Have you got any? You don't have to give it away, but have you got any ideas about who you're looking to bring in? I see you brought Foden in last week.
Yeah, but then that was only for the pure sake I didn't think Saka was going to play, and then Arteta fucking give it all the shit. No, he's injured, and then prick plays him.
Yeah.
Which sort of buggered me up a bit, really. But no, other than trying to get Saka back on my team, which I'll probably put back in this week, to be fair, I'll just keep it the same. Because we're in the league between ourselves, there's no point me changing it. I'm winning every week. There's no point changing. You might as well just save my transfers now.
Yeah, because the way I kind of look at your team is even without Haaland, let's say Haaland does go and get a hat-trick against Bournemouth or whatever else, because you have outscored us all for the last 4 or 5 weeks, 5 weeks even, it's not going to make too much of a difference unless he goes on a bit of a run and gets 10 in the next 3 or 4.
The thing is, as well, without having Haaland, I could have 2 players. So I could get Salah and Saka. So with their 2 scores combined, 9 times out of 10 every week, they're going to outscore Haaland. And that's the way I've looked at it this year. So it's if Haaland goes and gets 2, and then Saka gets 1, and Salah goes and gets 2, I've outscored him straight away. But then, like you say, it's down to the captain pick. That's my strategy this year, anyway, because it's so expensive, and you can make such a good team, and it seems to be working at the moment. Not saying I won't get Haaland in my team eventually. I'm just saying at the moment I don't need to.
No, yeah. While you're scoring so highly, you might as well keep it as it is and keep it the same, and that hopefully it carries on for your sake. Obviously, we're all hoping it doesn't, and something happens that kind of brings you back down to earth a little bit with us. But Indy, what if you were Russ now? What would you be changing anything, or would you stick as you are?
A couple of things. I think he's got a really solid team, but there's just a couple of gaps in his team. If you get it back up again the way you did it earlier, I think I would suggest. Tottenham are very iffy at the back, and Pedro Porro is very goal reliant. I think Mazraoui is, with the way United are probably now going to turn up and start to play and be a bit more expansive, means that Man United's clean sheet upside is probably not there. I think Robinson is solid as a cheap defender. I think Konate is a solid defender as well for the points he plays as a starter. I'd probably just maybe get in another defender from maybe like a Man City or somebody like that, because they would likely sort it out and start to keep clean sheets. I know they kept one against Southampton this week, but the other thing probably would be maybe another better striker as a third striker, because I always like playing a 3-4-3. So,
and that is why you're bottom.
Oh, no, but a 3-4-3.
Can you imagine? Could you imagine taking advice from someone about, for instance, financial advice from a broke man?
Well,
Taking fucking FPL tips from the guy.
let's just while we are on Hindi, I'm going to find his team. That's me. I'm pretty sure that's you, Hindi. So you obviously lowest score this week, 55, dishing out the advice for Russ, who got 64. Looking at your bench, mate, that's criminal.
Well, this is it. Same thing with the whole Saka scenario with Russ. If he plays in my team, he's generally going to be ahead of probably, I'd suggest maybe Morgan Rogers, probably. Yeah, he'd go ahead of Morgan Rogers. Rogers would then be on the bench. I don't think I was going to play Smith Rowe anyway. He was on the bench last week. But the thing is, if that happens and I'm hitting 60, and that's pretty solid as well, all it came down to really is Luis Diaz not really doing an awful lot. He didn't really play much. But then the question that I had in my team was, do I get rid of Luis Diaz? But is Saka going to play? So I held on to Luis Diaz on the basis that Saka probably wasn't going to play, and I needed Diaz, and he could be the kind of player that might score against Arsenal. I know he got an assist. There's a little flick on at the front post, so it wasn't actually a bad pick. But arguably, if I go for Palmer as my captain over Haaland, I don't think many would do that based on the teams that they were playing. But Palmer was unreal. It really came down to getting the 3 bonus, because if Haaland got the 3 bonus, that's an extra 6 points, and that's pretty good outcome in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, so Russ, I'm going to come to you about Hindy's team, as I just gave you the opportunity to critique yours. So, looking at his team in terms of, he is at bottom still. Unfortunately he's been bottom for 10 weeks now, pretty much. But unfortunately, been bottom for 10 weeks now. Obviously, he is clawing it back. He is pulling it back. He's creeping up to me. The league's becoming a bit tighter at the bottom and a bit broader at the top. What would you change in his team?
Well, I'll take Haaland out, and I'll take Diaz out. I'll take Lewin out, Calvert-Lewin, and I'd put Salah in there, and I'd probably put Watkins and Welbeck, probably, if that was my team.
Have you just named your team?
No.
To be fair, those changes that you thought about are things that I've thought about, but every time I keep seeing Calvert-Lewin's fixtures, it's one of those where he could just bang a 2.
Yeah, but you could get Danny Welbeck for that price.
Yeah.
And he's scoring goals. Chris Wood scoring goals.
Yeah.
You've already got the lap.
Well, see, the thing with Delap, it was a choice between Delap and Wood, and I chose the wrong one. And DCL was a choice between him and Welbeck at the point, and I chose the wrong one. So actually, in hindsight, if those 2 transfers are a bit different, I'd probably be 30, 40 points better off right now. But
and there's you wanting me to take advice from you.
Well, no, but hindsight's a beautiful thing. It's really easy after the event to say what's going to happen. But even if you think about the way Woods played, the goal that he scored again, I can't remember when he just squirted one towards the keeper and keeper fucked it and hit it against the post.
That was 1-0, wasn't it?
Yeah, 9 times out of 10, that's not going in. And he was poor in the game, generally. Right?
Was he?
So he scores the goal and gets the bonus, and it ends up being like an 8-pointer, when in reality, he was probably going to get 2 or 1, because I think he got a yellow as well.
But
So
still
do you not sometimes go with the luck?
Yeah, yeah.
If he's getting lucky goals and he's doing it again and again, is that not something you want to go with?
It is. It's fair, but the problem that you've got with luck is luck always changes. It's not like you stay lucky for 38 games in a season. You might have like a 3-game sprint. So all I need is that little turn-in. Yeah, or a 5-game sprint like Russ. His acting choices has been solid, but it swings and roundabouts. I think ultimately that it's a long season. We're a quarter of the way through now.
You telling us that your luck of FPL is now finally ran out?
Yeah, after 5 years it's run out, mate.
To be fair, I remember last season, mate, your bench this week, you'd have had both of them come on last season.
That's what I was going with.
Yeah, 100%. Both would have been on the pitch.
Well, it happened last week, wouldn't it? It would have happened if Saka he was in my starting squad on the basis if he didn't play, he'd come in. But like Russ said, Arteta said clearly he wasn't going to play. Whereas the week before he said he might play. So he just fucked it for everybody.
He
Clearly,
fucked us all
he made
over
him
with that
captain,
one.
didn't it? He made
It
him
cost me a
captain.
transfer.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, Rossi isn't here, but that's bug. Where is Rossi? Yeah, I want to get his team up. I mean, 59 points is pretty solid. Chris Wood seems to be doing the business for him. Obviously, 6 points of Eze. I mean, he kind of stuck. Bug, I'll come to you. He's stuck with Eze now for a few weeks, and the one time he drops him to the bench, he gets a return. And now tonight, he's gone off injured after 15 minutes. So,
And he got a goal as well.
And he got a goal as well.
Yeah.
So it's like
he could be on the rebound.
Everyone talks that I'm the Hex with Haaland or whatever else, but Eze's done nothing for Rossi. Then Rossi puts him in, takes him out, puts him on the bench. He gets a return, plays tonight, gets a return, then gets injured.
The thing with Eze is, though, you can see it this year. Without Elise there, he's a great player, don't get me wrong, but without Elise, he's nothing really in that team.
He's on his own. He's the one man you've got to mark.
Yeah, exactly. If you stop Eze, you stop Palace, basically.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah, and obviously they've got Mateta, who's not really firing this year, and
he's just come back from the Olympics and everything, and then he started this week and scored, didn't he?
Yeah.
He's also got more goals than Vinny Jr., who should have been the Ballon d'Or winner.
we will touch upon that actually, because I think Vinny Jr. is a little bitch, and that's why he didn't won it. Personally, I think he's.
Fuck's sake.
Go on, Bug. What's happened?
3-0.
That's Chelsea getting battered. But Bug, as you are talking, mate.
No, ignore me. Didn't go in.
Well, talk me through your team this week. 61 points, decent return. You've got the same dilemma as me, really, with Semenyo. It's like he should be getting points, but nothing seems to be coming from him.
I put him in the presence that in pre-season he was penalty taker and he was up front. I thought that was a free striker in midfield there, and so far he's taken none of the penalties they've had, and he's playing wider than he's ever played wide before. You know, fair enough, against Arsenal he should have had a couple of goals, but unfortunately he's not the guy that I thought he was going to originally be.
So your inspired pick this week was Wissa. And I can guarantee he'll be in most of our teams next week, just based on Brentford's next round of fixtures. But in terms of that, what made you think of Wissa? What was it? Just the fact that Mbeumo's their main man, and you thought somebody else has got to carry can a little bit?
No, I looked at his next 5 games, and it was between him and Chris Wood. And to be honest with you, I was quite unlucky that one of the goals went down as an own goal, because then he would have had 2.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And that would be a difference maker of having the most points this week, especially seeing as Rodgers only got 1 point and he was my -4.
Who's only got 1 point?
Rodgers.
Rodgers. Oh, okay. Yeah. So you took a -4 this week to get Rodgers in then?
Yeah, Rodgers and Wissa, because I thought, do you know what? They're both looking good. Wissa played 25 minutes last week, looked a bit fresh again, and he takes a fucking 1-pointer.
See, he's a good player, that Wissa.
Yeah, he's a very good player. Now, because we let Indy and Russ talk about each other's teams, we'll talk about each other's. I mean, there's not much advice you can really take from me, because I'm doing shit. But if I was to do anything with your team now, it would probably be a goalkeeper change, mainly because David Raya lately has been letting in goals for fun, and he's quite an expensive keeper. I think there is cheaper options out there. I mean, I've got Sells on my bench who started for me this week, got me 5 points. So there's not much I can really say about your team. It's pretty solid across the board, even on the bench. You know, you've got Fabianski, who obviously is playing now as well. But Mbeumo and Wissa are inspired choices. And I mean, I put in Mbeumo this week for their next 5 fixtures.
Well, I said to you that after that Bournemouth game that Semenyo was going to be my next victim, and I didn't pay attention, and I may have already transferred him out for someone who's injured.
Looks like another -4 coming your way then.
Has he put Eze in then, is he?
Nah, he's already injured. I was looking at something online about which professional players had certain players in their team and who they were starting and all that lot. And I thought maybe they were going to do what they've done with Saka and go, yeah, he's injured. And I put him in, and then it was, no, he's not returning until November 24.
Oh,
24th of November. So now I can put it in.
That's going to be a -4 then, Bug, pretty much, I'm guessing.
No, I will take it on the chin this time. I mean, it only happened because I was looking at my next 3 or 4 transfers, and at one stage, if I pressed it by mistake, it would have been the -12, but I'd done it on the last one. And then when I realised that he was injured, it was like, oh, fuck.
Well, let's pull up my team before I pull up the league table, because I've got the league table this week. It's week 10. I did say that. So I scored 60 points. I put in Mbeumo based on his next 5 fixtures. I did kind of plan ahead. My original plan was to get in Saka, but with the injuries and everything else, I ended up opting for Mbeumo, which turned out to be a fairly good decision. 15 points is a decent return. Brennan Johnson struggling a little bit. Obviously, Munoz on my bench getting 5 points, but I should have known playing Tottenham. Dr. Tottenham will see you now. That probably would have happened. But I think the one that I struggled with most was John Stones. I thought he's guaranteed to play. Obviously didn't, being Pep as he is, and he was my -4 and he got me a point. So that cost me a little bit.
And he only played 20 seconds as well.
I know, mate. But then, I'd have had 2 from Robinson, so I didn't lose out too much. But now with Akanji being injured, I kind of feel like he's going to play a lot more, so it could work in my favour moving forward. But, Bug, looking over my team, critique as you will.
Yeah, I would take out fucking any Tottenham player because you haven't got a golden boy there at the moment that is fit, and you're relying on a Johnson who turns up and doesn't turn up.
But Dave went for player on form like he did with Madueke.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Quick, get him in. He's
done it with Madueke. He's done it with Sancho. He's done it with Johnson.
Yes, the thing about Brennan was he's actually, from when I put him in, he's actually got me a fairly decent return. It's only the last 2 weeks that, nothing's really happened for him. So I don't regret putting him in. Sancho, I regret putting in. That was a stupid decision that I made on a whim. And I was like, after I've done it, I was like, why did I do that? Why did I take Madueke up for Sancho? But, Sancho's gone now. Delap, I was quite fortunate with this week because he was actually started on the bench. But he came on and got me a goal, thank fuck. And India was probably thinking the same as well. So, my plan is kind of in effect in terms of what I wanted to do. I had to change it a bit with Mbeumo, but again, I've got another 5-week plan based on the games ahead, so we'll see how that goes. But I want to pull up the league table.
I think you might have the problem as me as well, mate. Like Semenyo, you've gone off the bat of again what I said pre-season and all that lot about him being the main man.
He was ridiculous pre-season. Penalties a lot.
Yeah, and that's exactly why at the beginning I put Chris Wood in and I wanted him back in, and he keeps scoring. But I know as soon as I put him in, he's not gonna. You're gonna. Another critique is you're relying too much on City because they've kept 1 clean sheet this season, 2 clean sheets.
That's it.
Yeah, so I think Rico Lewis, it will be a casualty of mine in the next few weeks. He is somebody that I'm looking to bring out. I know everyone says he carries a goal threat and everything else, but I just think there's some better options out there at the moment than Rico Lewis. Believe it or not, a player that I have looked at quite a lot was Leif Davis. Ipswich. He reminds me of who was that defender that played for Luton last season? Doughty. I think he's this season's Doughty in terms of he's good for an assist. He's always on free kicks. He's on corners. Ipswich score. They score fairly regularly. So it's more.
Yeah, I mean, my defence. I was actually looking at Chalobah because he's looking a bit good for Crystal Palace at the moment. I know he's only played 2 games, but he looks like he did for Chelsea when he first came in, banging goals and that. So I'm hoping he might bring that in.
Yeah, so he's at Palace, isn't he now?
Yeah.
Talking about defenders and that, another good one I was contemplating. I'm not going to do it, but another good one would probably be that Aït-Nouri for Wolves.
Yeah, he gets goals.
He gets goals as well, gets assists, and he plays up the top for them, and he's a bloody defender.
Yes, Rossi spoke about Aït-Nouri. It's a shame he's not here, actually, because he was speaking about potentially getting him in over the next few weeks. And when I said about getting Lewis out, he would have been my natural kind of replacement because of the fact that he seems to get goals for them. He seems to get assists for them. The only thing with Wolves at the moment, they had a really shit start. They had some really hard fixtures. But
they had the hardest fixtures in the league, I think.
Yeah, they're kind of on an upturn now. They've got a nice run coming up. So, I'll tell everybody he's going to be one of mine. Probably not this week. I think my transfer is pretty much set this week. But it might be, it'll probably be one for next week.
That could be where your problem is, Dave. You're doing transfers week in, week out.
Yeah, it's only, I won't eventually, I am going to start rolling, but I have to get my team to a place where I'm comfortable to be able to roll without thinking, I'm not sure how they're going to
How can you get to a comfortable team when you're changing it every single week?
Because the players
you've got to let it ride a couple of weeks at least.
Of course, but when you've had 2 minus 30 weeks, mate, you don't want to let it roll. You know,
I don't know what that feels like, mate.
Exactly. So I haven't had the chance to let it roll yet. So my plan is to change. I've got to change this week, maybe 2. I'm not sure yet, or maybe 1 this week, 1 next week, and then based on the fixtures, I will roll it for.
So if you're going to change 2, you're going to take another -4 then?
Or I'm either going to take a -4, or I'm going to wait until next week. Sorry, Timo Werner's in, so it's probably going over the bar. Yeah, he put it wide. It's a difficult one.
Timo did score earlier, all right? Give him his props.
Yeah, he's still shit though. He should have buried that. But yeah, I just think that I've got to get my team to a place where I'm comfortable to be able to let it roll. Luckily, we're still early on. We're only week 10, so making too many, making changes now, even 1 a week, is okay. I think by the time we get to game week 12, between 12 and 18, I don't want to make that many changes and just really, really roll with it and see how we go. But look, we are approaching week 11. I'm going to pull up the league table.
We are top of the league. Say we are top of the league.
It's pretty reading for Roofs. Obviously, flying out 571. So that gap between top and bottom is now, what is it, 90 points, something like that. It's grown quite a lot.
I think you need to do your maths again, mate. It's 82.
Well, it's about 90 points, mate. I'm not going to sit there and work out like I'm some sort of...
Closer to 80 than it is 90, all right?
Rossi's obviously had a bit of a slower week, but he's kind of sticking to second place, which obviously makes a difference and helps. Bugden, you've kind of pulled away a little bit into third, and me and Indy are kind of battling out for the wooden spoon at the moment.
If you've taken a points hit, mate, we're only 5 difference.
Yeah, I haven't taken one yet, and now looking at that table, it's probably something I'm not going to do.
You should take 12-point hit, mate.
No, I've had a closer look at that. It's probably something I'm not going to do. But I just want to touch upon a couple of things. I want to touch on Haaland again, because for people that missed it at the start, we were discussing his poor run of form. Do we think that he's going to come back, or Russ, I'll come to you. Do you think it's going to come back? Do you think there's going to be a time when we're like, yeah, that's what we got, Haaland?
He is going to get a couple of goals here and a couple of goals there, but it's not going to be every single week. And like I said to you earlier, I just feel with the price that he is, and you can get a Salah and a Saka pretty much, and for the price that he is, they're going to outscore him on points, you'd think. So I'm not going to have him.
The only thing you're going off is if they're not your captain. So if you've got Saka and Salah, Saka scores a goal, Salah doesn't, you captain Salah.
Well, Saka's having a return every week. So even if he's having a poor game, he's still getting a return. Haaland has to rely on a Foden or a De Bruyne to set him up.
He's a Bugden. He's a Bugden.
What I would say is that where the captains that you've got, Russ, they're midfielders. So when they score or they assist, those points are a little bit more amplified than they are for Haaland. And because they're involved in the game, their chance and upside for bonus points this year, more so than any other year, is big. So Haaland has to score 2, probably be pretty hot on taking his chances to even get close to bonus. Whereas I think technically a Saka could get an assist and get a bonus, versus Haaland would probably need to score and assist to probably get a bonus.
Yeah, but the thing is, if Haaland, like you look at Samantha, there was 2 headers he had. Another day he scores 3 or he scores 4 in that game. It's one of them things where it's just one. It's not going his way at the moment, because he's clearly getting the chances and he's getting in the right position. How has he fucking not scored that? Fuck's sake. I'm sorry. Got one eye on the Spurs game, but yeah, he's getting in the positions. He's just not taking the chances. So for me, he's one of them players that I can't bring myself to get out of my team, because it's the type of player that I'll take out my team and he'll go and score actually 3 games in a row.
Well, that's why when you take out your team,
put Jackson back in.
Yeah. See, Jackson was one I didn't actually want to lose, but to be able to get who I thought was going to be Saka, but I went with Mbeumo in the end. I had to sacrifice an expensive forward. The only mistake I made was putting Delap in. I was stuck between Delap and Wood. I chose Delap, obviously, but he has got me a return. But look, we'll see. It's interesting. We move into week 11. You know, we are a quarter of the way through the season now. Let us know how you're doing in the comments if you're flying high above Hindi, who is our reigning champion, but currently bottom of the basement this week. But let's move on
got to him, mate. That's what it is. giving it all that at the start of the season. First cam and all that lot.
I bet that geezer who
lads. I'm a professional. I've got money. I've got a house. You ain't got fuck all. I'm just being nice. I'm evening the playing field. I'm giving you an opportunity.
I bet you wish you had that bet with that geezer, that African geezer at the start of the season, didn't you? When he was like 200 rupees, whatever it was.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But onto a bit of the show that I quite like talking about, and I appreciate Russ sending these over to me today because I hadn't done them in time, and it saved me a job. So it is our Score Predictor League. We didn't have the charts last week, but you know this week was fairly good for Russ and Rossi. You know they got 2 correct results, 2 correct scores, 1 correct result, 7 points. Decent return in a week. I think I got 4 points. Hindi and Bugden were a bit less, but that does quite a lot to the table. It puts Russ joint second.
Keep on climbing.
Listen. Have I gone from fucking third to bottom when Hindi was below me anyway? No, can't go off of that.
Hindi outscored you this week.
I don't fucking care.
Last week.
Yeah, outscored you last week and this week. Russ, who's gone from bottom to joint second because of a big 7-pointer this week. Thank fuck I got a 4-pointer because otherwise I would have dropped to third.
Didn't you boys turn around and say to me last week that, the score predictor's the one, I'll take both, mate. I'll go both. I just got to catch Rossi,
you're still third at the moment, mate. So, you know,
I hope you enjoy your sad little life.
Yeah. You're still third right now. Obviously, Bugden is the L plate at the moment on 29 along with Hindi. They're both the L plates. You know, I'm struggling a bit, but out in front, Rossi, who's had a blinding couple of weeks, is extended his lead to 7 points. But obviously, there's no Super Six just yet because of the Carabao Cup as it is, and Spurs are still.
And at the moment, I've got the Arsenal score right.
Yeah, I don't play it midweek. I only play it in our league. That's it. But I'm just City got corner. Oh shit. Yeah. So. Let's keep that going. Let's see how we get on. Russ is going to be pushing for that top, and I'm sure that these boys want to overtake him again. And I don't want another week where I end up losing points again because I want to stay second or first. Missing that week has cost me big. But I want to talk about the Premier League. I don't really want to talk about Tottenham, so I'm not going to.
You have to.
Before we get on to the Premier League and the results, I want to talk about Man United because finally United sacked Erik ten Hag. It's been a long time coming. It should have happened weeks ago, in my personal opinion. But he's finally gone. Hindi, a poor result against West Ham, which was never a penalty, but it's probably done you a favour. Talks of Ruben Amorim coming in. Talk me through it. What's your thoughts?
To be honest, I'm shocked at how the players keep getting away with it. As a fan base, we could have anyone as manager. If your players don't want to actually try and run about and work hard, we could have Pep and we'd do fuck all and he'd get sacked after 6 months.
I agree.
Do you know what I mean? It's just the players. The players clearly aren't good enough. Now we could put in the best system, and do you know what? And you could have, hand-picked players from every team in the world. When they get to United, because they're getting overpaid and they just can't be asked. It's just like, 300 grand a week. It's fine. I've got my Bentley. I've got my Rolls Royce. I'll go and wank off in it. do you know what I mean? It gives a fucking bollocks. Just work hard.
The thing is, though,
do something.
The thing is, you saying about the players, you got to take. Ten Hag's got to take responsibility. Look at the players he's brought in. Anthony for what 80, 100 mil, whatever it was.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But the thing is, but he's not played him this season, right? And he's not played, so. That can't be the reason why he's lost the job this time round. Really, this time round, the reason he's lost his job is our players aren't taking their chances.
Like we said a couple of weeks ago, they've got no identity, have they?
Against West Ham, we could have been 4-0 up at half time, and we weren't. Yeah. And then as soon as they score, we are scrambling around, and then it's just panic stations every time.
Well,
and it's the same thing.
Jose did say it before he left.
We've got this soft underbelly of just not enough quality or not enough drive, and we keep losing like people that do have a bit of identity for the local area who actually care. Like the likes of McTominay, he cared as a player. Like you see him herring about. Yeah, and we just get rid of them, and we keep Rashford. He's fucking shit.
Does a lot for the kids, though, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, so did Jimmy Savile, but he ended up raping him. So
you know, the thing with United, right? And I'll be honest with you, if I was a United fan, I'd be excited by Amorim. I think the football they play is exceptional. But
Sterling missed that.
The problem you've got is you are right. It's the players at United. They don't take any accountability. They don't put the effort in. You know, they miss chances galore. Everyone underperforms. Realistically, Ten Hag had against West Ham. They played some nice stuff. Played some nice intricate football. They should have been out of sight by half time. So I think the players have cost the last few managers their jobs. You know, you're talking Ralph Rangnick. You're talking even Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at times. Not saying he was the right man for the job. Jose Mourinho, Van Gaal. You know, it's always the same players. But the thing about Ten Hag is he was backed a lot in the summer, bringing in De Ligt, bringing in Mazraoui, Ugarte, who he's not even playing. You know, so I can't understand the logic. And I think United have got a bit of egg on their face because they waited until now to get rid of him. Realistically, he should have been gone in the summer. You missed a trick with Tuchel, in my opinion. I think he was the perfect man for the job. But, you know, Amorim is a very... Yeah, he's a young manager now, Amorim. And, you know, he's a young manager coming into a really, really toxic club.
Thing is, Ten Hag would have got the sack last year, anyway, start of the season, if they didn't win the FA Cup. I think that's what kept him in the job, in my opinion.
Yeah. But then if you're going to give him the job on the basis that you won the FA Cup, then back him 8 games in, and yes, do you know what I mean? Like, it's either stick with him for the season or get rid. You can't do like a little bit where you go, oh, we'll go 8 games in and see how it goes and then get rid of him, because whoever comes in now isn't really being given an opportunity. They've now got time till January to see potentially a squad. Van Nistelrooy might get a bit of a tune out of him. Let's say Amorim comes in straight away, possibly has to do a notice period, possibly comes in around January time. Whatever the situation is, it's all change again.
Yeah.
It's sort of what continuity are you getting from your team? Because unless Ruben Amorim's going to come in and do exactly the similar style as Erik Ten Hag, everything changes.
Same as Tottenham.
You'll have other players that aren't playing well, or the results might take a bit of time to sort themselves out, which means, well, okay, you're just basically doing a perpetual cycle. And then at the end of the season, Ruben Amorim shit because we ended up 8th.
Oh, if I remember rightly, didn't Ten Hag come out and say he got asked, well, how comes you don't play the same style you did at Ajax? And he turned around and said, it's because I can't, because I'm not allowed. Do you think it's the hot people above, higher up, that are telling them to play a certain way, maybe, or?
Well, I remember the thing. I thought he said that I don't have the players to be able to play that system.
Oh, I'm not sure. I just remember saying along them lines.
He hasn't got Hakim Ziyech.
It was all about the technical ability. Yeah, but the thing is, you say about Ziyech. Ziyech technically was fucking quality.
Yeah.
His ability to switch the play, his ability to make the pass was really good. And then you've got the equivalent of an Anthony who worked for him in Holland, but it just doesn't have the quality. And the thing is, the step up is so big that your ability has to be jump with it. You can't play the same way you played in Holland.
Yeah.
You look at Donny van der Beek, he couldn't do it. And he was one of their star boys.
Yeah, he was unbelievable. It's a tough one, you know. I think they're a bit like Tottenham in terms of the fact that how many new starts can you have?
United are not like Tottenham.
No, what I mean is how many new starts can you have? How many new cycles can you go through? How many managers can you go through before you say, okay, it's going to be shit for a while, let's stick with it and try and ride it through. And that's kind of what United were doing with Ten Hag, but then they bottled it 8 games in. Yeah, results weren't great, but I actually thought he got him playing okay against West Ham. I thought he played all right. You know, he should have won that game.
We've had so many good performances this season that the Achilles heel has been we haven't taken any chances. In most of the games, I know XG is a bit of a weird stat, but if you base it on XG, we should have won most of the games apart from Liverpool and Man City, Tottenham. They're the 3 games.
That's 3 out of the 8.
No, but the thing is, you expect we should have beaten Brighton away, and we ended up losing. Like, we didn't take our chances, and then they score at the end. So you get a draw to a loss when it should be a win, probably to worst case a draw. And then Brentford we beat, and then West Ham we should beat. And you add 6 points onto what we've got, and we're probably top 4 or near top 4.
Sorry. What do you make of their signings though? Obviously, Xerxes is a big talking point. Obviously, 35 million, I think he was. I don't see it with him. I don't see anything that makes me go, "Quite, he's a United player."
I think it's too early to say. Do you know what? He went to the Euros as well, and he looks like a big boy. He needs to slim down a bit, to be honest. His first touch is excellent. His ability to bring people into the game is excellent. He's just not quick enough, and nor can he sniff out and finish a chance. But he's not a number 9. He's not a natural number 9. Haaland coming back will help. I really think that the main issue that we've got is Garnacho on the wing is somebody who can score and take chances and gets in behind. On the other side, we can't have somebody else similar to him that is trying to get in behind. We need some balance, that somebody's actually going to be creative on the right-hand side. A bit like when we got Mata. Mata on one side was cutting in and actually becoming a playmaker and playing football. And we don't really have that. But it's weird. There's no one thing that United don't do. Today we played with a double pivot, and actually it looked much more solid for us at the back.
Did Ugarte play today?
Ugarte and Casemiro both played.
Okay. So a bit more.
That then freed up Bruno to actually attack.
Yeah.
See, that's been United's downfall as well. He's had a shit season, Bruno, and if he's not playing well, I seem to see like United don't seem to play well.
Yeah, but he's that important. It's like the equivalent of like let's say a De Bruyne for Man City or a Odegaard to you guys. They're the players that make you tick. They make everybody around them better. So if they're not playing well, it's how do you get them to play well? Well, our system of getting him to play well was playing on the right or playing as a number 8.
Let's kind of pull it back to FPL a little bit, because I did want to ask this question about United. Obviously, getting a new manager or new manager bounce, or even under Ruud van Nistelrooy. United have just won 5-2, by the way. But even under Van Nistelrooy, they've got a fairly decent run of fixtures coming up as well. Are you looking at anyone from United where, as an option, where you think, they could be some points getting there? Russ, come to you.
I wouldn't go anywhere near him, to be honest. It's too early.
Yeah, like I say, the only Man United player I got was that Mazzarari, but he was cheap. He was just a cheap defender. But yeah, no, I definitely wouldn't get no Man United players in.
I was quite excited to see Lenny Yoro as well. Him getting injured so early, but I think the biggest trick United.
He's not that great though.
Lenny Yoro, he looks unbelievable for 18, mate. But that one trick they missed was Todibo, because he looks like a baller, even though he's at West Ham now. Is the way he plays the ball and plays it around. I do think they missed out there, but with the whole Ineos owning the club he came from, it made it difficult, didn't it?
Which is it weird though, because Man City got Savinho from fucking Girona, and it was no problem at all.
Yeah, I didn't really understand that. It was a bit of a weird one, but
I think that because they're the City group, it's okay. But if you're just flat out own 2 clubs, then you can't do it.
Multi-club thing, but you never know. City could lose all them clubs till these charges finally get through. See, Jose Mourinho come out the other day and said he might get himself a Premier League medal, which cracked me up. Oh,
that'll be nice.
Ooh, City just missed a very good chance. But yeah, moving on. I want to talk about Arsenal, Russ.
Yeah.
Talk to me about your weekend. Saka obviously played for those that live under a rock in FPL. To the detriment of everyone who took him out. What do you make of their performance?
I thought we played really well. I thought that if we kept Gabriel on the pitch instead of him going off injured, Timber as well, I think we would have seen that out on 1-2-1, to be fair. Liverpool didn't really cause us any threats. I told you last week Thomas Partey would play right back.
He looked all right as well.
And mate, when I see the lineup and I see him at right back going up against Diaz, and I thought, oh, here we go, we're going to lose 3 or 4 here. But no, we played really well. If you asked me at the start of the game, I would have took a point. Bit controversial with the old referee blowing the whistle on Kivior's foul, and then we went and scored, and he said, like,
how about saying ball straight after, mate?
Yeah, but he didn't blow the whistle for that. But yeah, no, like I say, 2-2. Quite happy. Saka's a
What,
fucking...
Desmond? Is that
Yeah.
Desmond 1-1?
Desmond.
Well, can I ask you a question about on Arsenal? And it's been quite a talking point all over X this week about Arteta's new. He seems to just want to sit back on Leeds now.
Yeah, but we've got no like Odegaard. He's massive, like India was saying. He gets the game ticking over. So we're having to find ways of playing without that, because without him there, we ain't really got that number. Like I say, that number 10.
So you don't mind just trying to see out a win when you at half time when you.
Yeah. But then if you asked us that 3 weeks ago, I would have said yes straight away, because our defence is decent, but we've had to makeshift through injuries and everything.
Yeah.
And to be fair, they hit us on a counter attack.
What do you make of it, Bug? What about Arsenal?
I think Raz is talking dribble. I think Van Dijk had it right. The injury crisis, 2 players?
Suspensions.
What's that?
Suspensions, injuries.
All right, everyone has an injury problem, mate. We've had Reece James injured for 3 years.
If you look buy players to try and win the league again.
Hey, we've got more leagues than you know, haven't we?
Yeah, but how many have you bought?
That's it, he's got more leagues than you.
Mate, I'll take a bought one. I'll take a bought league. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, money talks. A trophy's a trophy at the end of the day.
Yeah, and your bullshit walks, mate. You keep speaking it.
Listen, just because Ten Hag's got more trophies than Arteta doesn't mean you need to be so bitter.
I ain't bitter, mate. I'm top of the table, mate.
We said that last week, actually, Russ, about Arteta. He has to deliver this season. I think it's now or never, really, in terms of how many cracks at the whip do you give him? Yeah, he's improved you massively, but realistically, are Arsenal fans starting to doubt whether he's good enough to get you over the line?
Well, like I said,
it's monstrous pep team, realistically.
Thing is, if Man City weren't Man City, we would have won the league a couple of times. And the same as Liverpool. This Man City.
If my
Dad had wheels,
be my uncle.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. But no, like I said a couple of weeks ago, I feel like he has to win something this year. Otherwise, it's like it's as far as he can take us. Really, he can't really get us over the line.
Where do you look?
Didn't you win the Emirates Trophy at the beginning of the season?
What's that, mate?
Didn't you win the Emirates Trophy at the beginning of the season?
Yeah.
Where do you look, though? Where do you look? In terms of
I said to you a couple of weeks ago, that is the thing as well. Like I say, I'll quite happy take a cup and finish second, but he has to win something this year.
Yeah,
he does have to win something, in my opinion, anyway.
Bug, talk to me about Chelsea.
What do you want to know?
It's shit.
Not tonight. Talk to me about the weekend just gone, mate.
I'm quite happy with how we're playing at the moment. I think we're looking quite exciting. The only problem is we are not solid at the back. So if we go and score, if someone scores against us, we're scoring 2. And that's what it's been like all season. We've done the stupid thing of getting rid of people like Lewis Hall, Livramento, Tomori. They were going to be the future of England. And because we needed to make financial fair play, we got rid of players that would have been there 10, 15 years.
Yeah, and like United, players don't care.
Yeah, like you think Tariq Lamptey went to Brighton, and before he got injured, he was their main man as a right back.
Yeah,
now he doesn't get in. But at that time, he was a baller. We got rid of him when he was a baller. He ran Liverpool ragged, and that's our problem. We got no one at the back that is strong.
Out of interest, who are they playing centre half at the moment?
Well, today they played Badiashile and Toslin.
Yeah, this is what I mean, because they got Tisassi, Badiashile, and it feels like they're not really playing much. It feels like you're playing Tosin pretty much as the number one, and then whoever else alongside him. So,
Tisassi scored no goal tonight, didn't he?
Yeah, Badiashile got a goal, didn't he? But, no, Reece James plays centre-back now. He plays centre-back against Newcastle. So we're playing 3 at the back now. Now he's fit. So
Tosin, Reece James, and
Colwell.
That's what I mean. I like Badiashile, mate. I think he's a pretty decent defender.
Yeah.
So be in your team next weekend.
Him and Diassi, when they was it France? They only had 2 people run past them. They get that game now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We bought a partnership that was supposed to be solid, and
Enzo and Caicedo as well. I mean, Caicedo looks unbelievable, but I still don't see it with Enzo.
Mate, The thing is,
good
he's
World
like,
Cup, and that's it.
yeah, he's like Jorginho though. He needs that time on the ball. He needs to be. He's not good in a defending team. He's good in a team where he's able to dictate.
Yeah, able to play out.
Mate, I think I'd say Jorginho's better.
Yeah, but this is how I feel about how I used to feel about Shevchenko. Shevchenko was poor for us, but if you actually watched the game and just watched him, his runs were amazing. We just wasn't intelligent enough. And I feel with Enzo, that's kind of the same thing. He's looking for that intelligent ball that no one will pick up, and our guys are too dumb to realise the run.
So you have the same problem as Arsenal then, pretty much.
Yeah, you listen, you got Madueke who's only just getting into the team after coming from a fucking PSV. Yeah, he's good at running the ball, but he's not good at getting in behind in those runs.
But what are you seeing about Sancho? So this is a player that pisses me off because I think he's got the world at his feet. He's such a good player, but he just floats in and out of games and is like ineffective in so many games.
He came off in the Newcastle game. He looked semi-decent. I think he should have had a penalty, or he could have got a penalty. He's a threat. He's a threat, but he's only a threat if we let him play his style.
Yeah.
And that's what he wasn't doing at United. He wasn't playing his style. He went back to
Dortmund, didn't he, basically?
Yeah. He went to Dortmund and they went, do you? And he done him and fucking ran them ragged.
Yeah, but he wasn't even that good back at Dortmund. Do you know what? It's the United hate online makes out that he was amazing when he went back. He had one good game against PSG. I think he scored like 3 goals when he went back in Bundesliga. I could do that. Werner scored 40 one season. If he could score 40, I could score 3.
You're going off of stats, yeah? Stats ain't the be-all, end-all. Like, look at Hazard and the Salah fucking argument. Salah's the goal scorer. Hazard's the most fouled winger in the fucking league.
Yeah,
he dictated that game. He done the ball before the assist.
Just one question for you, Russ, quickly back on Arsenal. And what do you make of Arteta bringing on? Obviously, you had someone went off injured. He brought on a youngster. He brought a youngster instead of Zinchenko at left back. Yeah. Do you think that's the end of Zinchenko?
I don't know. He played tonight, Zinchenko. But yeah, I think he's going to be like a little cup player. I think personally.
Yes.
He had a stupid statement, didn't he? He was like, "Can you imagine me chasing Salah?" It's like, yeah, well done, mate. Like that's a fucking great line you can say there. Like, you want to play football and you're saying I'm scared to chase after Salah. Like fucking yeah, well done, mate.
Just just moving on really quickly in case you've been living under a rock. It was Ballon d'Or this week. We had Vinny Jr., who had already bought Rolexes for all his teammates, arranged a huge party for all his friends and family because he was sure he was going to win the Ballon d'Or. News broke in Madrid about 3 hours before that he weren't going to win it, and
did you see the reason for it? Apparently, it's because he's been outspoken about race in Spain that they took it away from him. So he was a shoe-in for it until they decided he was no longer going to. So it's UEFA's decision to take it away from him.
See, I just think he's a little bitch. That's why.
Yeah. Let's be honest. He said, like, look at my accolades, look at my stats and all that lot. Fuck me, man. Look at Rodri's stats. Player of the Euros. He's fucking just won a treble.
Yeah, but none of that stats.
He scored more goals than Vinny.
No, but then on that basis, then Bug, give it to Carvajal. He won everything.
Yeah. I mean, I think Carvajal's just as good. I reckon he was just as deserving.
Yes, mate. As for Equator.
No, but Carvajal actually scored some big goals in the Euros. And
well, I think Rodri's the best pick.
Here's one with it with the Ballon d'Or. It's all about your accolades. It's all about how you play, but it's voted by players and coaches.
But when it was Messi Ronaldo, right? It was based on individual accolades. So now Messi and Ronaldo are about. They changed it.
Let me finish. It is all about players voting, coaches voting. If you're going to cheat your way to leagues and Champions Leagues and all that lot, how are people going to vote for you?
Yeah,
if you've got to dive and get people sent off, you're not going to get the votes from the people going, do you know what? That Vinny, he dived and got us knocked out the cup, but I'll vote for him.
You look at when he's playing, Kimmich trying to give him the ball back and he's deliberately dropping it and then rolling it away and just being a bellend. That's not going to get you votes, is it? And I think that's kind of what's
I mean, fuck me. It wasn't even La Liga MVP.
Yeah.
If you can't be La Liga MVP, how can you be Ballon d'Or winner? He scored
The thing is, though,
five goals
in
for
my
Brazil.
opinion, I think they've got the winner straight away. I think all the votes and that don't mean shit. Because look, like going back to when Henri should have won it and fucking Nedved won it. That was fucking joke. I think they've already got their winners.
Nedved's class, I love Nedved.
Yeah, but he got like 15 goals and 16 assists. Henri got 35 and 20 odd assists. And
But you look at Salah when he was nominated.
Yeah, I know, shit. That's what I'm saying. I think it's all bullshit, mate.
Exactly, but like I said, if you want to go for accolades and stats and all that lot, technically, Cole Palmer should have won it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Cole Palmer had more goals than Vinny. He had fucking more than everything.
I just think Vinny Jr. doesn't help himself. If he wasn't such a fucking dickhead and didn't cry about everything, you know, then he would have had more.
He's the new Neymar, really.
He's not very like, oh, Mikey. Oh, he's not very
He wants to play the race card, but forgetting Ronaldinho's always up there.
If Vinny can't play in the Euros, and clearly the Euros are more important and better renowned than anything that happens in South America, then
the Copa America.
Yeah, so what would he have had to have done as the equivalent?
Well, the Copa America, they were fucking awful.
Yeah, but okay, so let's say Brazil win it.
Yeah.
Does Rodri still get it?
This
is what I mean. So this is what I mean. So then, okay, so we're basing it on 6-week tournament is more important than the other 38 weeks.
Yeah, but you also look at what Rodri does for City and the way he makes it.
He wasn't even Real Madrid's player of the year.
He's not lost a game for City in a year. You know, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, you're making all these arguments. Has he got to win this? Has he got to win that? But if you look at the things he has won, he's not even top 3 in Real Madrid. Jude Bellingham got voted player of the season for them. So he's not even the fucking top player in Real Madrid. How's he going to be top player in the world?
I get that. But what I will say is, in previous years, your best player or the most explosive attacking player will generally win it for the team that wins the Champions League. Look at Benzema, who got it. Anytime Barcelona have won the Champions League, he's got it. Whenever Real Madrid have won it, and it was Ronaldo, that's generally been the rule. Right? Ribery won it that 1 year.
Okay, you go off of that then. Jude Bellingham done better stats than Vinny Jr. So therefore, he was the most explosive player.
Yeah, so I wouldn't have had an issue with it being Jude Bellingham. Right, Bellingham had a good Euros as well. He scored.
One word. He missed that. Sorry, Richarlison just missed a sitter as well. One word then. Who should have won it, Rodri or Vinny? I think Rodri. Ruse?
Yeah, I'd go Rodri as well. To be
Indy?
Vinny.
Bug?
Rodrigo.
Yeah, he's been getting it all, hasn't he? Jesus from Atletico Madrid been getting congratulation messages, and he's like, I ain't bloody with it. There's nothing to do with me. I think go on.
I'd still go Haaland or Cole Palmer. I would.
Yeah, I think Haaland's good. I think Haaland's time's coming. There's no doubt about that. But look, I think that pretty much wraps us up this week. Our Super 6 scores, we'll have to get in either tonight or tomorrow, boys. Put that in our chat as we go. Obviously, just putting up our league again. Just one last look for this week. Russ, top 5 weeks in a row. He's the talking point at the moment. Hindi spent longer at the bottom of the league than any of us this season, and that's 10 weeks. That's the whole season. So let's hope that he can recover and put me down the bottom next week, but we will see. But listen, in a week where Vinny Jr. is off crying about not winning a Ballon d'Or, Indy's crying about being bottom, Russ is celebrating top 5 weeks in a row, Bugden's grown a dodgy mustache. We're still here. We'll be here next week talking more FPL with more tips. Any questions for us, get at us on X. You can find me at Park Lane Pod Dave or at Park Lane Pod. Ruse, where can people find you on Twitter?
Wilson Brown 85, and then here every Wednesday night, 9 o'clock.
Indy?
No way, mate. I'm going off socials now because I'm bottom of the table.
Well, you can find Hindi if you want to give him a bit of shit. H17NDD on X or just on the Facebook page. Bug, we're desperate to get you away from them porn bots. So where can we find you, mate?
I've got 18 now, so I'm on my way up.
He's on his way up. He's climbing steady. But don't forget, tune in. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We really appreciate you all tuning in as always. It's good to see you all, and hopefully we'll all be back next week for more. But in the meantime, gutted Indy, still bottom.
Peace.